Every guy's been there. You see a woman, you're drawn to maybe she's beautiful, elegant, mysterious, and something inside you wakes up. You start thinking, what should I say? Should I compliment her? Should I text first? What if I mess it up? And before you know it, you're chasing your overthinking. You're giving her your energy, your attention, your time, hoping for a little piece of hers in return. And what happens? She pulls away. She takes longer to reply. She gives you half, smiles, half effort, and eventually silence. And in that silence, you wonder what went wrong. You blame yourself. You think maybe you weren't attractive enough, cool enough, rich enough. But what if I told you never needed to chase in the first place? Because women don't fall for men who chase them. They fall for the ones who trigger something deeper, something primal, psychological, almost uncontrollable. A man who understands how the female brain works never has Torin after her. She chases him because it's not about being flashy. It's not about saying the right pickup line. And it's definitely not about chasing. It's about presence energy, psychological tension. It's about creating that spark in her mind where she starts thinking, why does he feel so different? Why am I still thinking about him? Why do I want this attention so badly when he's not even trying? In this video, you'll learn 5 rare psychological tips that flip the game completely. These aren't surface-level hacks. These are shifts in your behavior that speak to the part of her that logic can't reach. And once you apply them, women won't just notice you. They quote, "They'll feel drawn to you." They'll chase you. Not because you played games, but because your energy made it impossible not to. Let's begin. Let me ask you something no one ever dared to ask you. Have you ever sat back and wondered why, even when you're doing all the right things, she still pulls away? Why you show interest, attention, kindness, and consistency, but she barely notices you while giving her full energy to the guy who gives her. Half why you're the one who's texting, first planning theme meetups, thinking about her before sleep, but you still feel like a stranger in her world. If you've ever felt that sting, that ache of being invisible while someone else effortlessly gets her attention, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Most men never realize attraction isn't about effort. It's about energy. It's about psychology. And most importantly, it's about what you don't do. Women don't chase the guy who's available 24/7. They don't dream about the one who constantly validates them. They don't obsess over the man who gives himself away too easily. They crave the man who's calm under pressure, the one who listens more than he speaks, the one who never tries to prove because he already knows his worth. That man triggers her imagination. He lives rentré in her mind. Not because he forces his way in, but because she can't stop wondering who is he really? What's he thinking? Why does he feel so rare and that emotional curiosity that's silent? Desire is the fuel that makes a woman chase, not with desperation, but with fascination, not because she was told to, but because her psychology left her no. Choice in this video you won't find. Pick up lines you won't find. Tricks or tactics that only work for a night. You're about to discover 5 deep psychological truths, the kind of subtle mental shifts that turn you into the man who no longer approaches because women naturally feel drawn toward him. They seek him. They invest in him. They chase him. This isn't about playing games. This is about reclaiming your masculine energy, owning your emotional gravity and becoming a man so grounded in who he is that she can't help but be pulled in if you're ready to stop chasing and finally become the man. Women chase. Let's begin. Tip number 1. Show interest, but with restraint. Here's what most men do. They meet a woman they like. And within days, if sometimes hours, they're all in texting her good morning and good night, complimenting her looks, telling her how much they enjoy her presence. They make themselves emotionally available without hesitation. It's well-intentioned but fatal. Why? Because the human mind craves mystery more than certainty, and women driven by emotional intuition are especially tuned to the emotional tension of a man. The more you reveal up front, the less room she has to fantasize, to wonder, to emotionally invest in. Understanding you, true attraction is not about being cold, it's about being measured. You show interest, yes, but you hold something back. You compliment her once and let silence do the rest. You're kind and attentive, but not instantly available. You speak with warmth, but without urgency. Because when you hold yourself with quiet restraint, she leans in. She starts wondering, is she different? Why isn't he chasing like the others? And that wondering plants the seed of desire. The chase begins. But now she's the one doing the chasing. Tip number 2, be unpredictably. Come, let me give it to you straight. Masculine calm is one of the rarest traits in modern men. Most guys react. They rush to feel awkward silences. They over-explain themselves. They flinch emotionally at every tiny shift in a woman's mood. And women, whether they realize it consciously or not, are repelled by that energy. Why? Because it screams, I don't have control over myself. But the man who walks into the room and isn't trying to prove anything, the one who smiles only when he means, the one who pauses, thinks, and speaks with intention, that man radiates control, presence, grounded power. Now combine that calmness with a touch of unpredictability, and you become magnetic. You laugh. Sometimes you go silent. Other times you don't react immediately to every message. She can't pin down how you feel, and that stirs something powerful in her subconscious. It whispers, this man is different. This man is centered. This man doesn't chase, he attracts. And the truth is, she wants to be the one trying to win you. Tip number 3. Lead without needing control. Let's make something clear. Women don't want to be controlled, but they do crave leadership, not dominance, not force, but directional energy. The kind that only comes from a man who knows who he's, where he's going, and what he expects from life. When you say, let's go here, instead of where do you want to go? When you move with purpose, not hesitation. When you make decisions without seeking constant approval, she feels it. And that feeling, it allows her to relax, to lean into her feminine energy, to let go of the mental load. Because you're masculine. Frame is holding space for her to simply be. Others where most men mess this up. They confuse leadership with control. They try to dictate how she should behave. Who she should talk to. How fast things should move. Real leadership doesn't come from insecurity. It comes from abundance. You don't lead to dominate her. You lead to show her that you don't need her to follow, but she'll want to anyway. Tip number 4, create moments of charged silence. There's a language more powerful than words, and it's silence. Not empty silence, not awkward silence, but charged intentional silence. The kind of silence that makes your heart beat faster because she doesn't know what's coming next. Most men rush to fill the space. They're afraid of what might happen if they say nothing, afraid she'll lose interest or feel uncomfortable. But women don't fall for the guy who talks the most. They fall for the one who makes her feel something without needing to speak. When you pause before answering, when you lock eyes and say nothing, when you hold your own emotional space without scrambling to entertain, she starts to feel the weight of your presence. It's in that silence that she starts to lean in to fill the gap, to reveal more. That, quote, S, when her emotional investments skyrockets because she's not just talking to hear herself talk, she's talking to win you. Tip number 5, stay just out of reach. This is the paradox of masculine energy. The more you give freely, the less it's valued, but the more you control access. Not as a game, but as a byproduct of having a full, purposeful life. The more deeply women desire your presence, most men, once they feel a spark of mutual attraction, throw everything in. They cancel plans, they double text, they bend their boundaries to keep her around, and that's when the shift happens. She no longer has to chase because she knows she already has you, but a high-value man doesn't collapse into availability. He lives his life. He guards his energy. He gives affection but doesn't let her live. In his inbox, he's warm when present but rare when absent. He's emotionally generous, but he makes here earn his consistency, and that's what triggers her. Deep, almost. Obsessive investment. Because she doesn't know when she'll see you again because you're not always right there because she has to think about you to keep the connection alive. Been in doing that she chases. If you felt something shift while watching this, if a part of you recognized the truth in these psychological tips, then you're already ahead of 99% of men. Because attraction doesn't start with tricks or lines. It starts with energy, with awareness, with becoming the kind of man who no longer chases because he doesn't have to. And if you want to keep mastering that energy, if you want to become the man who commands attention without ever raising his voice, who makes sure think about you long after the conversation ends, then now's the time to subscribe to this channel. Click that subscribe button right now and hit the notification bell because each video I drop is carefully crafted to sharpen your mindset, elevate your confidence, and unlock the silent psychological cues. Women are wired to respond to this isn't just content, it's transformation. If you let it be. You see, women don't fall for the guy who tries to impress them. They fall for the one who makes them feel something deep, something subtle, something unexplainable. That's not about being perfect. It's about being polarizing, present, powerful in your stillness. When you live these tips, when you truly embody the calm, mysterious, high-value man, you won't just notice women reacting differently, "I'll notice the world bending to meet you differently." So remember, you don't chase, you draw, and you don't prove you exist fully. You don't become what she wants. You become who you are, and let her fall for that until next time. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and never forget the most attractive man in the room is the one who needs nothing but has everything within.